Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a part of an animal or a person weave in the front of and behind another object. I showed that the other day, but someone showed me an even easier way to do it, and she said feel free to share it with you guys on YouTube. So here we go. Okay, you'll see on my screen what I'm talking about, and you can see how I made Tigger's tail. It started out like this on the right, and I made it so it went behind part of the G and then over top, inside, and wove around like that. So that's what I'm going to attempt to replicate right now. So I've already brought in Tigger, so you don't have to wait for that. You can find one yourself somewhere, and I'm going to go ahead and just cut this piece off with my knife, because I don't need all of this here. And I'm going to grab this piece and delete it. So now I have a smaller piece to work with like that, so I can see more clearly what I'm doing. And I actually could even make it smaller if I wanted to. Could just do this. So basically, all I'm going to see, whoopsie daisy, I just want to get rid of this part. Okay, so here's what we want to emphasize. So I'm going to get the word Tigger, or the name, obviously, Tigger, capital T-I-G-G, oopsie, G-G-E-R, and I'm going to make it a certain size, whatever size that I think will look good on here, because I want his tail to be able to go in and out of this. So let's see, I have this over here further like that. Okay, that's going to be perfect, I think. Although I think I might want the eye. There we go. Maybe like that more. Don't remember if I used this particular font. So what I want to make sure of is that I have some white from behind him sticking out in the letters that I'm going to be clipping off. And I'll show you what I mean now. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take that name, though, just for the heck of it, because right now it might be a little larger. Like you'll notice that when I click on this, that the box is actually up here above where the letters are. But if I just come up here, go to Object, and make it a compound path, notice then it just goes right down there where I need it to be. All right, so what I'm thinking of now is what I want to go in front of what. So in other words, if you look at my sample over here on the left, I made the first part of his tail go under the G. So I'm going to just leave this part alone. Anything that goes under, I'm going to leave alone. But this part of the G goes on top of. But I forgot an important step before we begin this, you guys. We got to click on him. And I'm going to offset him. And I'm going to say offset. And I'm going to say the offset size is going to be a 0. And I'll say apply. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab Tigger and move him out. So all that's left back here is the offset. Okay? And again, I'm going to think about what I want to go behind and what I want to go in front. So if we look here at my sample again, you can see that the beginning part of his tail, this part right here, goes under. So I don't need to do anything with the under part. But this next part is going to go on top of this. So I want to make a cut here and here, because I'm eventually going to have those two, this piece that's going to go on top of this. And I'll show you. So watch. I'm going to come over here and get the knife tool. I need to make sure that it's on solid. If it's not on solid, it won't work. I'll leave it on straight and auto apply. So I'm just going to draw a straight knife line between here and here. And it's auto applied, so that's already cut all the way through. And I have to make sure that I go from one edge of an item to the other. If I just start right here and cut to here, it won't cut all the way through. So I need to grab my knife tool again. It's on solid, straight, and auto apply. And I'm going to click from here to this very other side, making sure I go outside of the other side a little bit like that. Okay, it's auto applied. The next thing I'm going to do, so let's think about this. This part of the tail is going under, this part's going to go over. So this part's going to go under, and the next part's going to go over. So again, I want to draw a line here with my knife tool, come over and get my knife tool again, and draw another line right here, like that. And then this part's going to go under, and I don't need to worry about anything else. The only other thing I must worry about is his chin, because if you'll notice on this sample, I had his chin come on top of the letter E. So, okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw another line, and I'm going to draw this line from here to here. Okay. All right, that's all we need to do right now. So the next thing I am going to do, though, is I'm going to remove the parts that are going to be under. So this is all going to be under. Let's see, this was under, then this is over, so this one's under right here. I need to grab just that piece right here. Boom. Nope, still didn't get it. There we go, got it now, and I move it out. I don't need to save it. So again, it's going to go under, and this is going to be over, then it's going to be under. This piece is going to be over, so I want to keep that one, and this one's going to be under, so I can delete on my keyboard actually. So now the next thing that I need to do is grab these pieces that are going to be going over. So I'll click on this one, hold down my shift key, get this one, keeping my shift key held down, get this one. Then I'm going to come up here and change their color. And I've been using a purpley color. The other thing I want to do is I want to right click on those and bring them to the front. Now what I want to do is I want to subtract these out. So I'm going to click on the E, or click on the word Tigger, and then I can click on these other items and come over here to the modify panel, open it, and when the modify panel is open, just say subtract, and look what that did. Subtracted those pieces right out of there. So let's move this out of the way and this out of the way, and let's bring our Tigger friend back in and check this out. We just need to move him now. You can use your, once he's selected, once you've clicked on him, use your arrow keys on your keyboard to get him moved perfectly where he needs to be. Now, an easy thing to look at would probably be looking at his chin, right? Because I know where that's supposed to be. So I can go down, down this way, and probably over this. Oopsie, I keep going the wrong way. All right, check that out, you guys. How beautiful is that, right? Look how the T is doing just what I said. This part of the tail went under, and then it went over. Then it went under and over and under. And of course I can change its colors to anything I want, holding down my shift key and grabbing all the pieces that make up the word Tigger. And if I wanted to, I could change it to, I don't know what I did over there. I think I changed it to white. And then what I think that I did over there was the line color is black. So I just added weight to it so that it would show up well like that. And I can move this out of the way. All right, and let's group all this together. And now I'm going to put an offset around all of it. So I'm going to come over here to the offset panel. Let's pretend like I'm making a decoration for a wall or a cake. So I'll just offset everything. I don't want that points, I don't want the line color anymore to be there, but I want the offset, and I'm going to change the color of the offset. I'll change it to blue for a minute to see what I got. So I can see some spots that I don't want to have here. So I'm going to click on this one to get the nodes and delete them. So it's like that. And then I can go back and change my offset to any color I like. I'll just make it white. Whoopsie, didn't mean to click on that. And again, if I was using this for Xilla or for my Cricut machine to cut it, I would go ahead now and change the line color of the offset to the medium gray color like that, and make sure everything is grouped together. And for my Cricut machine, I would send this over there as a JPEG. I would click on it to select it, go to File, Save Selection, save it to the hard drive, and I would save it there, naming it down here as a JPEG. And of course, I can do that with Silhouette as long as I have the business edition. Now, you don't need to have the business edition if you're using the portrait like I'm showing right now. I just can have the, let me get rid of some of these things. I can just have, oopsie, the free version, or certainly the designer edition or designer edition plus. But if I was making him as a print then cut, I'd want to scroll him around like this. Now, let's go up here to the page setup. Since I'm using my new portrait machine, I have machine set up as portrait. The cutting mat is portrait. The paper size that I'm using is letter. And I want to see the print and the cut border. But the other thing I want to see is the registration marks, because I'm going to have my machine cut this. So there's the registration marks. So I need to make sure that he's going to fit within there. So I can just make him a little bit smaller. So he's actually about, well, he's a pretty good size. Oopsie, I don't want him outside of that red line. Otherwise, I'll have to cut it with my scissors. So that looks pretty good to me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to print this, and then I'll be back to show you. Okay, here it is, all printed out on cardstock for a print then cut. You can see from my portrait, just like with my Cameo, it puts the registration marks on there if I tell my computer to do so. So I'll take the protective cover off of this mat, and I'll put this sheet up on here, lining it up with the solid square in the upper left-hand corner. And again, I'll match it up to the 8.5 by 11 thing here and line these lines up. And you can tell if you have it on straight, because if you line it up here with the 8.5 by 11 there, and as long as your line down here is straight, it should be good to go. So I'm just going to hit send on my computer after I double check and make sure that just cut edge is going to be selected. Okay, and I'm going to change my settings because this is a very, very thick cardstock that I use. So I usually like to have mine set on cover stock. However, I don't think it needs to do 2 passes, so I'm going to do it down to 1 pass. And we'll see how it turns out. So I'm just going to hit send because it says it's ready. So it's going to read the registration marks. And since I have it on this setting, the speed is 1. I should have upped the speed, because it's going to be very slow. I'll fast forward now through the video. And before I remove my mat, I like to check again as usual, and that looks like it has come out perfectly. So it's okay to unload my mat. Okay, so this is the finished product. As you can see, I did it out of cardstock. If I did several layers or another layer for a backing, I could have put sticks in between it, use this for a big cake topper or some kind of a decoration, or put it on that printable vinyl for shirts that I showed you in the previous video. I could put this on someone's shirt, or it would be fabulous for sublimation as well. So I hope you like my videos. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe and hit the bell. Also be sure to check out my links down below if you're in the market to buy something. It really helps to keep my YouTube channel funded and going, and it helps me to be able to purchase things so that I can demonstrate more stuff for you. Because as I said in the last video, I'm not given these things like a lot of people are. I buy these things to show them to you. So again, thanks for joining me, you guys. See you soon. Bye.